5 years ago, I was a bartender. I was living in a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 other people. I had half of my shit in storage and half of my shit scattered around the apartment in boxes and bins. And it felt like I was going absolutely nowhere with my life. I had no goals. I had no dreams. I had no morning routine. I was getting drunk pretty much every single night. I would go to bed at like 5 a.m., wake up at like 10 a.m., hungover or still kind of drunk. I wouldn't go to the gym. I was in this routine that was making me not only miserable, but also sick. I wasn't mentally strong. I wasn't physically strong. I wasn't emotionally strong. I wasn't spiritually strong. I will never say that I was at rock bottom because even at that point, I was still absolutely blessed. Still very fortunate, still very lucky, still always want to recognize my privilege. However, I had zero belief that I was going to go anywhere with my life. And if that sounds like you and where you are, I actually need you to watch this video because these 5 things got me out of that place of absolute misery and into this place where I have this belief in myself, where I know that I can attract anything and everything that I want, that I am capable of everything I put my mind to. And unfortunately, it took me like 5 years to realize these things, but I'm going to give them to you right now so you can start implementing them right now. So without further ado, these are my top 5 tips to attract anything you want, to make your life the best it could possibly be, to achieve all of your goals, to reach your full potential. Number 1, I'm really going to need you to stop listening to imposter syndrome. This is probably what holds people back the most, including myself. I used to think that in order to do any of the things I was putting my mind to, I had to be an expert. I had to have a degree, I had to be older, I had to have more experience in what it is that I wanted to do, or I was just being a fraud, I was being an imposter. The imposter syndrome that creeps up on you when you start doing something new usually is not valid. It's usually just our protection mechanism coming into play because we're doing something uncomfortable and scary and out of the box. I've talked about this before, but our protection mechanism wants us to stay in the box because back when we were cavemen, if we went out of the box, we were killed. We were eaten by a dinosaur, whatever. Something happened when we went out of that box. So now, in these current times, our protection mechanism is like, stay in the box, stay in the box. It's scary out there. You don't know what's going to happen. There's this big unknown out here. We don't know if it's going to go well. We don't know if people are going to judge us. We don't know if we're going to be successful in what it is that we're trying to do. So our entire being usually goes into that protection mode. And that protection mode is to keep us safe, but that protection mode usually manifests as imposter syndrome. Because the chances are, if you've got a lot of imposter syndrome popping up, you are not going to follow through with what it is that you want to do. It's very hard to pass that threshold, to get over that imposter syndrome. What I did and what I want you to do is to realize that if you are getting up every single day to learn, to grow, to evolve, to become better, and you are working towards your goals, towards your dreams, whatever that looks like, you are doing more than 95% of people, which means that no matter what it is that you are working towards, no matter what it is that you are trying to attract, you are going to attract that better than 95% of people. You also don't have to be an expert to start something. Chances are you're not going to reach that expert level until you are already in it. If you know a lot about a certain topic or you're passionate about a certain thing, take that and run with it. Imposter syndrome is going to come up. It is kind of inevitable unless you are someone with wild amounts of confidence. In which case, I don't really think you would be watching this video because you don't really need any more tips. Seems like you kind of got it. What I realize and what you will realize is the more that you do something, the quieter and the quieter imposter syndrome gets. You just have to get past that point of discomfort and you have to stop listening to it. I know it's so much easier said than done, but I promise the more you do something, the more comfortable you get with it, the more that your being realizes that it's not an unsafe place to be, the smaller and smaller the imposter syndrome gets. 2, you are going to switch your negatives to positives. Again, a lot easier said than done. Something that you have to be really, really, really conscious of all the time. The chances of your default programming being negative are pretty high. Unless you were raised in a super healthy family where they focused on the good over the bad and they praised you much more than they disapproved of you, which unfortunately is pretty rare, you probably have a similar default programming to most humans on this planet, which unfortunately is negative. Myself included. It's just how society raises us. It's just what we're taught. It's just what we see. It's just what's around us. So our challenge now, our work now, is to switch that. I want you to think of what your first thought would be if an opportunity were to arise right now, an opportunity that you have been dying to receive for the longest, an opportunity that's in the realm of your wildest goals, of your wildest dreams. What do you think your response would be to that opportunity? Do you think that you would immediately go, yes, amazing, I absolutely deserve this, I can do this, I'm gonna be so good, it's gonna go so well, I'm so confident, I can't wait, finally. That may be your immediate response, but I'm talking about once that dopamine hit goes away. What is your response? What are you telling yourself? Are you going positive, or are you, like most people, myself included, going to an immediate place of insecurity, of believing that the opportunity was just a fluke, of believing that you're not worthy of the opportunity, of fear, and ultimately talking yourself out of following through with this newfound opportunity. Now, I'm not saying that when you get new opportunities, when you start doing new things, that if you just switch the negatives to the positives, everything's going to be totally fine. You are going to be cured of any fear, of any doubt, of any insecurity. Poof, it's just gone. Just be positive. No, that's delusional. That's delusional in the worst way. That is not going to happen, which is why I said that this is going to take consistency, time, effort, awareness. Chances are all of that stuff is still going to come up because it has been your programming for years, for your entire life. Your job is to become self-aware enough to recognize how you are responding to these opportunities that you are attracting. Your job is to recognize the negative thoughts that come up and stop them as soon as you possibly can, because negative thoughts are literally like a runaway train and they will just destroy everything in their path. Recognize the fear, recognize the doubt, recognize the insecurity, be aware of it. Don't shame yourself for having it because it is normal to have it, but realize that you wouldn't be getting this opportunity if you didn't deserve it. I'm a big believer of everything in your life happens for a reason. Things don't just come into your life if they are not meant to be in your life. So when you get these opportunities and you immediately go to fear, doubt, insecurity, and you pass them up, you could have just passed up something that was getting you this much closer to your dream, this much closer to your dreams. But you weren't able to bypass that fear, that doubt, that insecurity, to switch it to a positive, to realize that if it's coming into your path, you deserve it. Even for me, still, a couple weeks ago, I got this opportunity and immediately, my immediate thoughts are, I don't think I'm the right person for it. I don't think I can do it. What if it goes terribly? What if they don't like me? And I had to catch myself and be like, no. It literally just fell into my lap. It would not have happened for me if it wasn't meant for me. I know that I can provide value in this opportunity, and I want to see how amazing this could possibly go. Where could this opportunity lead me? This is so beautiful. I'm so excited. I can absolutely do this. I stopped myself when those negative thoughts came up and I switched them to the positives. And still, every day I was experiencing this new opportunity, those negative thoughts would come up. And I had to be so conscious and so self-aware to flip them and say, no. You are worthy. It's already going really well. This opportunity is for you. Hammer it into your head that if you attract something into your life, it is for you. Maybe you don't feel ready, you don't feel confident, you don't feel deserving, you feel scared. It is for you. So you better step up and take on that opportunity. It was not put in your path for nothing. Number 3, you need to get clear on what you want and become obsessed with it. There is not a day that goes by. Honestly, there's not an hour that goes by where I don't think about my goals, where I am not visualizing my future life, every single aspect of it. I have literally become so obsessed with it that it kind of consumes my mind. And honestly, that is where I want you to be. I want you to become so obsessed with your goals, with fulfilling your potential in life, with achieving the life of your dreams, that every single thing you do gets you closer to that point. If you have a vague idea of what you want, I want you to take some time and get really clear on it. It is not going to happen overnight. For me and for most people, it's every single day you are constantly refining what it is that you want, how you're going to get there, what all of that looks like. You are going to go through trial and error, but get clearer and clearer every single time. Let those errors, those failures become lessons that happen for a reason, that move you even closer to where you want to be, that get you even clearer on your goals. The goal that you have at the beginning of your journey might be very different from the goal that you have at the end of your journey, but that is the beauty of trying new things, of learning, of growing, of evolving, and being open. When you're working towards these goals and you have such a clear vision of what you want the end result to be, you kind of have to be open and flexible about how you're going to get there, what your path is going to look like. It might not look exactly how you thought it was going to look. And usually when it doesn't look the way you thought it was going to look, there is resistance, and that resistance creates a closedness. And if you want to get to your goals, you have to be fully open. You have to release any and all resistance that you have around that. That resistance brings such a bad energy, and resistance vibrates at a low frequency. You want to be constantly vibrating up here. You want to be wide open to anything and everything that comes your way. You need to get rid of the idea that if it doesn't look the way you thought it was going to look, it's not going to be able to get you to where you want to be, because that's just not the case. If you are absolutely clear on your goals, clear on what it is that you want to achieve, and you feel aligned then everything that comes to you is coming to you for a reason. And you have to be open to all of it, whether it looks the way you thought it was going to look or it doesn't. Number 4, do not listen to people who are not where you want to be. I used to tell my goals and dreams to everyone and anyone. Whoever would listen, let me tell you what I want to do. And I found myself so discouraged and so stuck. Chances are you have big goals. I know that you have big goals. And if you don't have big goals, you better go off and make them fucking bigger right now. Do not think small. When you tell big goals and big dreams to small-minded people, which respectfully is most people, they, subconsciously or not, are immediately going to go into jealousy that you are trying to achieve these extraordinary things, and they're not. You have these huge goals and this ambition that they don't have. Or they are going to doubt your abilities, doubt your goals, doubt your dreams, doubt how you're going to doubt. They're just going to go into a place of doubt, and they're going to project that doubt onto you. And then guess what? You leave that conversation doubting the hell out of yourself. And for what? So that you can tell somebody what you're doing? Not worth it. Not worth it. When I was telling my goals to small-minded people, usually the response was, why would you want to do that? How are you going to do that? That seems crazy. That's wild. I don't even know if you could possibly, how is that possible? And I would leave that conversation spiraling because I was like, am I crazy? Are these goals unachievable? Maybe they're right. Maybe I should just go back into corporate America. Do I think too highly of myself? Doubt, doubt, doubt. Insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. Fear, fear, fear. That is all you're going to get when you tell your goals to small-minded people, to people who are not where you want to be. It is not worth it. The only part of you that wants to tell your goals to anybody and everybody is the ego, because the ego just wants validation. The ego is fucked up, and you cannot live your life based on what the ego says you should or shouldn't do. This is why a lot of people say to move in silence. There is so much validity in that. A lot of the people who you tell your goals and your dreams to gave up on theirs a long time ago. So do you think when you tell them yours, they're going to have this positive reaction? No, because their ego is going to be bruised because they gave up a while ago. They're jealous that you are doing it, and they're not. They're going to do everything they can to get you to be just as miserable and stuck as they are. Most people are right here. Most people don't want to see you go up here. It just is what it is. There is no point of exposing yourself to the possibility of letting that negativity in. You already have to do a lot of work on yourself to attempt to stop that insecurity, that doubt, that fear. Why would you also let it come in from the external? You're just causing so much more work for yourself. Keep your circle very, very small. Tell very few people, and only surround yourself with people who are making the money that you want to make, have the same mindset as you, or are on the same kind of trajectory as you, which is up. It's up like this. Number 5, and the last one, is lead with unwavering confidence. I know that some people might disagree here, but I fully believe that there is some truth to fake it till you make it. You are never, ever, ever going to be 100% ready, 100% confident. It's never going to be the perfect time. You're never going to look as good as you want to look. You're always going to find some kind of excuse. Even the top performers in the world still have insecurities and doubt. I was literally listening to Ed Milet's podcast the other day. I love Ed Milet. He's incredible. He was talking about how when he goes up on the stage, he feels like he's at about 60% when he goes to give a talk. And he is a top performer. He talks about how he gets insecure about things, how he has imposter syndrome. It's normal. It is just our default programming. It's not whether you have it or not. It's whether you let it control you or not. If you can go into every situation, if you can respond to every new opportunity with confidence, even if you don't fully feel it, even if you kind of have to fake it till you make it, you will absolutely succeed, because people are so attracted to confidence. Confidence is so magnetic. My goal with every single opportunity that I receive is to act as confident as possible. Even if I am not feeling it, I want to go into this new opportunity, this new situation, looking like I know my shit, looking like I absolutely deserve this. And the more that you act that way, the more you're actually going to feel it. I am not saying to do this if the opportunity that you get is totally unaligned. If you know absolutely nothing about this thing that you're about to jump into. I'm saying to do this if this opportunity is aligned with you and you just get consumed with fear, doubt, and insecurity. Fake it till you make it, and lead with that unwavering confidence, even if it's fake. I know that some people might disagree with that. I don't care. I think that sometimes it is necessary. You are never going to be 100% confident. There is always always going to be a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of insecurity. Fake it till you make it. Be authentic, be yourself, and remember that you would not have gotten this opportunity if it wasn't meant for you. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that these tips resonated with you. Let me know which one you struggle with the most in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Shoot me a comment, show me some love. I love responding to your comments. If you like this kind of content, please, 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 I would be so appreciative if you would subscribe to my channel. It would mean the most. And I will talk to you guys soon. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much.